Have you ever wondered if you should close or shut the door? Or whether you should say big or large mistake? Today we're tackling common synonym pairs in English. Close, shut, start, begin, big, large, and end and finish. Ready to clear up the confusion? Let's begin. Or should I say start? Close and shut both refer to the act of covering or moving to cover an opening. Shut is generally considered a little bit more forceful or an abrupt action, whereas close is more neutral and general. You can also consider the following example. Please close the door. It's neutral. Whereas if I say, hey, shut the door, it's freezing in here. This is a little bit more forceful. There are some examples where we can use them interchangeably. For example, could you close the window, please? We could also say, could you shut the window, please? Or she closed her eyes, she shut her eyes. However, there are some situations where we would use one over the other. The shop closes at 9 p.m. That's when it officially stops business. Could we say the shop shuts at 9 p.m.? Shut, generally, if we're talking about the shop shuts, it implies that it is no longer going to be in business, that operations are stopping completely. Or shut your mouth. This is very informal, and we're going to say this in a little bit of a harsh way. Okay? Basically, it's telling someone to shut up, which we know is very important. Start and begin are often used interchangeably, but begin tends to be a little bit more formal than start. Start tends to be used more in concrete or physical context, for example, like starting a machine or starting a journey. This is the point where we can use it interchangeably. The meeting starts or begins at noon. Again, in the situation, remember that start little bit less formal. Or let's start our lesson, let's begin our lesson. As I said, machines or engines or concrete things typically start. So the car won't start, not the car won't begin. And in our formal context, we want to use begin and not start. Begin your presentation when you're ready. Big and large both describe something that is above average size. Large is considered more formal and is used to indicate quantity, whereas big, a little bit more informal, but it can also be used to imply importance or seriousness. Now, both of them can be used interchangeably when it comes to physical size. It can depend on the context. For example, that's a big house, that's a large house. It's fine, you can use both. Or they ordered a big pizza, they ordered a large pizza. Again, interchangeable. Where we have a little bit of a difference, as I mentioned, big is used for importance or seriousness in some situations for abstract concepts. For example, it is a big mistake. This is to do with the seriousness of something. Okay, we wouldn't say a large mistake. We use large for quantities. She bought a large quantity of supplies. Just a quick tip. A big problem sounds normal. A large problem sounds like you're measuring the problem with a ruler. And to end or to finish, we're talking about end and finish. End and finish are also often used interchangeably, but there is a slight subtle difference between the two. End means that something was stopped, whether it's completed or not. Finish tends to mean that something was completed. For example, they finished the experimental drug trial. means that they completed the test. But using they ended the experimental drug trial suggests that maybe something went wrong and they were forced to stop the test. An interchangeable example, the movie ended at 10 p.m. or the movie finished at 10 p.m. However, some of the distinct examples we would use finish for tasks and activities. I finished my homework. It means I completed it. For end, their friendship ended. It's a state or a condition that is now no longer its. So remember that you don't end dinner, you finish dinner. Unless the dinner was really bad, then maybe you stopped without completing it. Now, let's test your skills. Download the worksheet below for more examples and exercises to master these synonyms. Understanding these subtle differences between these synonyms helps your English sound more natural and fluent. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe and comment below. Which synonym pair confuses you the most?